my brothers and sisters, we are here to celebrate the life of Alexander. And, great guy. I was blessed to be in his presence a few times this season. One of my favorite managers ever. Really hit right here when I heard the news. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him a lot. Be strong, brother. Be strong. And at this point now, I think we just take a moment of silence for our friend Alex.
What the are you guys doing?
Alex.
So, we have more than one show every week now, leading up to March, because we're trying to hit episode 100. You, of all people, should know that. You are the only technical director here. You're just a guest. We have lost this is the last semester we're in here, and this is the way we start. And I just can't. Why? First of all, Joe, why are you standing here? You're the only, like I said, you're the only technical director we have. We are so short-staffed that I have to come into the control room and I have to hit the button for the intro. God, jeez.
Warning, there may be explicit language in today's episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
Give me 1 second. The podium's right in the way.
I definitely looked over and I'm like, that's definitely supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I think we should move the camera down.
Yeah, I was thinking
Move the
that
camera
too.
down, yeah. See, this is why we're so short-staffed that we don't have anybody else here. So I actually have to do it myself.
Don't worry, you can cut all this.
Nah, we'll keep it in.
It's early on.
We'll keep it in. It's fine. So yeah, this is the new normal now.
It is indeed.
This is the new normal now.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Something seems weird.
Yeah, you're in this chair now.
Is this what it looks like from here?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh no, dude. Something
I can't
just,
lie, I've been in the middle.
Something just seems off.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not Alex not being here.
Really?
I don't know what it is, dude.
Oh, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it too. I thought he actually had some.
Something seems off.
I'm gonna fix this camera too, but
The camera. That's what it is.
Yeah. But
I think we're way too quick.
Joe, is the audio all right? All right.
Go talk to JW.
So I'm gonna fix the cameras. So Joe, if you want to hit the logo button, please. It's
Special guest on the show today, Mike Tomlin. How you doing?
We do not care.
We do not care.
We do not care. But here's the thing, though. I didn't want to start off with the Steelers. Listen, I know they made it to the semifinals.
It was a valiant effort.
It was.
You gotta
It
give
really
them some
was. It
credit.
really was.
You have to give.
It was.
You have to give this team some credit.
Yeah.
But however, Drew Aller put the fries in the bag.
Yep.
He put the fries in the bag.
Yep.
He did.
Yep.
That was a terrible throw.
And
Terrible throw.
this wasn't even James Franklin's fault this time.
No.
No. But
No.
here's the thing about this game. We were right again. Minus Dom, because he picked Penn State to win it all.
I did.
Why?
It was the easiest road. They had the
did.
easiest road,
They
and
did.
and early on when we did our predictions, when we did our
I'm
bracket
gonna jump on the
predictions,
close-ups.
early on when we did our bracket predictions, I predicted
There we go.
Indiana to upset Notre Dame in the first round.
Okay.
And then Indiana to go and beat quarterbackless Georgia.
Right.
And then that comes down to the Penn State Indiana game. That's what I thought was going to happen.
You know, I was rooting for Indiana, but then I was watching the game and I'm like, okay, I guess it's Indiana.
Yeah.
But then they did it again. And I'm like,
And again.
what's going on here? What's going on here? I mean, as said, Georgia was they didn't have a quarterback.
I knew they were going to have issues without Carson Beck.
Oh.
You knew it.
And I would say Carson Beck's there's a different game.
I would say so. I would agree. I would agree with you.
It's a very different game.
But I feel like being part of media,
Okay.
I have to say this still. Leading up to a big game that Penn State has against a team that could win the national championship, can we please start being honest about Penn State now? This is the same conversation every freaking time.
Okay.
Right before Ohio State. This is the year you lose. You're in the Big Ten championship because Ohio State had a spaz attack against Michigan.
Well, I wouldn't call it a spaz attack. That was just utter domination.
Well, spaz attack and
Hail to the victors!
I mean, do we really think that Ryan Day didn't have a spaz? He literally stood there when Jackson Sawyer was
I wouldn't even call it a spaz attack. I would call it
just freezing.
I would call it a much needed ego check.
Fact.
Interesting.
Because his whole thing going into that game was we're tougher than you and we're gonna bully you. So he just didn't want to use his $10 million receivers.
Yeah.
Emeka Ibuka still had a pretty good game, but he definitely didn't get the ball as much as he should have against Michigan.
No.
And when it comes down to it, I really don't. I think their game planning for that game was run the ball, show that we're tougher, stronger, better than you, but it just didn't work out. And especially against the secondary that they were playing in that game.
You can never count out Michigan's grit.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
And our secondary was pretty good, but we were missing. I think we were missing Will Johnson that game. So I think in my game plan, if I were Ryan Day, I would have thrown Emeka right on our second string corner and just dominated him. But that wasn't the case. And hail to the victors.
That's the victors. But that put Penn State in the game against Oregon in the Big Ten. Sure, lost by 8, but still, you lost. And then you get the easiest road. You face a SMU quarterback that did spaz out throwing the ball. Boise State, take Ashton Jeanty out of the equation. What do they have?
Carson Palmer.
Exactly. So then they face a good Notre Dame team. James Franklin runs his mouth like he always does in a press conference.
I really think they should have won this game.
Yeah.
I really think they should have won this
But
game.
how many of the Penn State-Ohio State games should they have won, though, in the past
That's a good point.
7 years?
2016.
But
they won that game.
27. Actually, I think in 2017 they should have won that one.
If it's not for Marcus Allen, they lose that
27,
game.
26.
I agree.
It was really not. If it's not for Marcus Allen, they lose that game.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Marcus Allen was
exactly.
one of the best college safeties
I was
ever.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Stud.
That's why Ohio State's on top right now, though. They have a really good DB core.
Yeah, really very good. Yeah.
They come down on it. They fill.
I kind of figured going into the playoff, I could have guessed. I guessed that going into the playoff that Ohio State had the best team going into that playoff.
Yeah.
It all came down to that Oregon game, to their game against Oregon too.
And they gave them the
But,
belt. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was ugly.
But here's the thing, though. Once again, Penn State lost. I know they probably should have won that game, but still, it's the same thing every time.
It is.
So when are we going to be honest?
For what? But however, this time for once, it wasn't. It's not. I wouldn't say it's on James Franklin.
No, it wasn't on James Franklin.
That was a bad
decision. I think Drew Aller's
not as good
throw.
Not good as everybody says he is.
Well, I've been saying that, dude. I've been saying that for years, and I just think it was a really bad decision to throw that ball over the middle.
Yeah.
In that game, I think in that situation, I feel like it's even if it's a tie. I mean, yeah, you can take your shots, but I feel like you got to go sideline.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to go sideline.
I was gonna say because was it not tie game?
It was tie game.
It was tie game.
It was tie game at that
Your
point.
decision to throw it at the ground. When does that ever really Like, that's not the best.
It's not
Probability-wise,
it's not the worst, though.
it's not the worst, but, like, we're talking, we go to the Natty, we win this game.
I think you have to go sideline. I think
You have to go
If you're
sideline.
going to throw the ball, I think you have to go sideline.
Yeah.
And because if it's because like you risk with Drew Bauer, I feel like you risk overthrows a lot. Not a lot, but more than Quinn Ewers and Will Howard. But yeah, I think going to the sideline takes away that risk of overthrowing.
Absolutely.
And completely eliminates the turnover factor in that drive.
And you
throwing across the middle, unless it's a check down, unless it is a check down or quick slant, I don't like that. I didn't like that. I think it was like a 10-yard drag.
It was a 10-yard drag.
I think it was like a 10-yard drag they threw. I just don't like that across the middle.
Because I understand, I understand what he was aiming for.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
The idea was correct, but it was just the execution. It was terrible.
That's a ball you would that's a pass you would make to like a Tyreek Hill, someone who can really streak across the middle. But
someone who can get under it, go down.
Like I'm not taking anything away from these guys.
No.
I'm not taking anything away, but that's like that's a ball that you have to throw to somebody.
Because shout out Notre Dame, they've been rolling.
That defender.
Yeah. Which I told you before we started that Marcus Freeman just has that swagger to him.
Yeah.
When he walks.
I was gonna say they've been rolling.
But
Riley Leonard. How about Riley Leonard coming out of nowhere?
Yeah.
From last year.
Yeah. Which, by the way, also I want to add something. I was there. I had box seats at Hard Rock Stadium on the Penn State sideline. Unfortunately.
Don't get it twisted. This is not the game you wanted.
It was not the game I wanted. It was 2 months in advance planned. I saw the bracket, then I saw the game, and I saw the path for each team, and I was like, crap, I'm going to see Penn State again. And lo and behold, I saw Penn State. I also did not pay attention who also was on that side, Notre Dame! Yeah.
It's a better game. You got a better game than what I predicted was going to come down to that.
Don't get me wrong. As a football fan,
Yeah, I would have loved to be there.
it was probably the greatest game I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I think that's been one of the better games in this playoff.
Absolutely.
Other than the Arizona State game.
As of
That game, actually, take that back. The Arizona State-Texas game
Yeah, that was insane.
was the best
I would
one.
have prayed to be in that stadium.
Scattaboo is
insane.
insane.
But
We're talking about
here's
draft
the
stock.
thing. Here's the thing.
Dude, yeah.
Here's the thing.
You had more,
As a
more
fan-
yards than Texas did. It was crazy.
As a fan of the University of Pittsburgh Panthers, the basketball team that did not make the tournament last year,
Yeah, they did not make the tournament.
it's probably not going to make the tournament again this year because they lost to Louisville.
They didn't make the ACC championship game either.
I hated the selection of the game I got, but no, it was awesome. It was a fun game, but I'll admit I was tweaking the entire game. I actually thought Penn State had a chance to pull it off, and then Alex, in the fourth quarter, he texts me and goes, "Drew Aller is due for a mistake.
Which he was.
He's due for a pick, another pick, a pick. Notre Dame's going to drive down the field, kick the go-ahead field goal, and Penn State's not going to have the tenacity to throw to get their game winner because Drew Aller has not completed the pass to a wide receiver."
If any of you have ever questioned Alex's ball knowledge, you have to read our group chat.
Yeah.
He's called almost everything throughout this playoff.
And here's the thing. After he said that, I looked at the stats on ESPN during a timeout, and I said, "Oh my God, Drew Aller has not completed a pass to a wide receiver yet."
I don't think he did the entire. Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't the entire
Yeah,
game.
It was running backs or Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that call in the end zone, that was PI when he threw it to Tyler Warren. I can understand, because you mentioned it, that you have to be aggressive with the calls. But, dude.
Huge stage like that. The refs are tweaking too.
But,
Listen, you got.
yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Unless he's like a 12-year vet, he's tweaking too. Plays over. He hears the loudest fan he's ever heard. Where's the call?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a jump scare.
That's true.
You hear an entire corner of the stadium yell PI. Wait.
He just goes.
You go across. They're higher up than me.
He just goes,
Scott doesn't lie. I wasn't looking.
he just goes, no, he just gets a jump scare when he throws the flag. He just goes,
Yeah, it's.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
You're like, oh.
Sorry.
And then the other ref is like, oh, well, what'd you call? I don't know, but we can't mess up on TV, so what are we gonna call?
pass interference, defense.
Had to be wrong. There's no way.
But
Running
yeah.
into the kicker.
But oh man.
I had to comment. I had to comment on that Scatterboo because you know everybody's been didn't they they filed for an appeal for that game.
Wait.
For it to be switched for Arizona State to win. But every team does that in the playoffs when there's a bad call.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Wait. Personal foul. Equipment manager said a mean thing about Patrick Mahomes. 5-yard penalty. First down.
All right, Chris Collinsworth. Scatterboo's.
I wish I had heard about him way earlier in the season.
I heard about him after the conference championship game. I saw his interview.
That was what I heard too.
I was just like, huh.
All my friends were like, "Bro, you didn't hear about him?" I'm like, he just randomly just told me he's the best running back.
Yeah, he just said I never heard about him. He said I'm the best player in the nation, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, man. I'm like, I want to see it. Like, if you're the best running back in the nation, I want to see it. And oh, did I see it?
But what was special about him was that he said, "I'm the best running back in the nation," and then he went out and proved it.
Oh yeah.
Not many players can do that.
Oh yeah.
Not many players can do that.
And threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's true. But I will admit though, my mind about Penn State has changed a little bit because you just had to be there
Word.
to experience the Orange Bowl. It was awesome. I'll admit, it was awesome. And the Penn State fans did show out, even if some of them in my box were annoying.
When did they not, though?
Literally. By the way, met a nice guy named DJ in the box. Shout at him. He was chill. From Pittsburgh. Anyway, literally, almost all the guys.
You know, if we won that game, we'd have to go back and take down that video.
Which one?
The one where we laid Penn State to rest.
Oh yeah.
We'd have to go back.
If
they were in the national championship, we'd have to delete that.
Yeah, but
because that would surface. Actually, no, we'd keep it on because that would surface.
Facts.
That would surface. It's all for clicks.
Yeah, exactly. You fell for the oldest trick in the book. All right, but yeah. So I want to read off the stats real quick because lo and behold, I actually have a class at noon and we're shooting this at 11:23 at Compton.
It's all my fault.
So I'm trying to.
It's all my fault. So I have to work it through.
Riley Leonard, 15 for 23, 223 yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Steven, how do you say his last name? Ango or something? Came in. Riley Leonard actually got hurt in the first half. Riley Leonard, first of all, in the first half, did not look good. But he came in 6 for 7, 44 yards. He heard an Italian was going to take his job, and he said, ah! So then came in, played pretty well, I would say, in the second half.
Fairly well.
Notre Dame just took their heads out of their asses and then won the game. Penn State, Drew Aller was 12 for 23, 135 yards, no touchdowns in a pick. Singletary, 15 carries for 84 yards and 3 touchdowns. No touchdown passes to, obviously, receivers, so all the touchdowns came from Singletary. Once again, lost a big game. Now, on the other side of the bracket, Ohio State is going to the national championship. Dom, how do you feel about that, being a Michigan fan? At least it's not Penn State and Ohio State in the final, because then
that's what I was rooting for.
You have the right to plead the fifth.
Oh yeah, true.
That's what I was rooting for.
Yeah, true.
You have the right to plead the fifth.
No, I'm not going to do that.
There's a drive to left by Castellanos.
How do I feel about this? Obviously, as a Michigan fan, I really don't want them to win the national championship.
Right, naturally.
Especially after the year after Michigan wins the national championship.
So am I hearing that you're rooting for Notre Dame?
However,
oh, there it is.
If they win the national championship, it makes our win look way better.
Yeah, exactly. My dad said the same thing. He's like, oh, they win the national championship, but they're going to hear it from Michigan fans. Oh, you still lost to us, but
absolutely,
that's going to happen.
Michigan, Michigan in a down year, in an 8-5 year is really the way it finished was really not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially with how bad our quarterback play has been all season, and with the excitement of Bryce Underwood coming, and along with a bunch of 4 or 5 star recruits. I'm excited. I'm very excited. However, I also really shout out Carson Pacheco, but I just really don't like Notre Dame that much. I
actually slid up on his Instagram story and said, I swear this is the same thing with Penn State every year.
Ever since my one boy left Notre Dame, I just really haven't cared about Notre Dame.
Fair.
However, I just think they should be in the conference, just like.
Oh yeah, no, that was the one thing I agreed with James Franklin in the press conference.
I was
gonna say
he was right.
Yeah,
but they don't have to. However, they don't. What's good for Notre Dame is they don't have to pay any conference fees.
No, they don't.
Well,
like $14 million that they got for going to the semifinal. It's all they can keep it all. They don't have to give it to the Big Ten or the SEC or the ACC.
Well,
I think Notre Dame would be a really good fit in the ACC.
I mean, they tried that one year,
but they should have stuck. They should have stuck with it.
Yeah.
They only did it that year because the rule was you could only play conference schedules and they were independent. So it was either that or they just don't play football that year.
Yeah.
And they're way too big of a program to just not play football.
Yeah. Fact.
Which, so before I move on to the Ohio State-Texas game for a little bit, I also want to say with that, if Notre Dame wins the national championship, okay, with that comment Franklin said about about the not being in conference, I'm fine with not being in the conference if it takes us to the national championship.
Yeah, facts.
I just think it really should be. I really think they should be in a conference.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like
especially with the new playoff format now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they have a down year.
Yeah.
Like they're not. Because like essentially like what they're playing for every season, all season, is an at-large bid. Because they don't have. And especially with the new format now, getting into a conference could give them some leverage. Because if they join like the ACC, they could win the ACC, get that first round bye.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna say, I absolutely hate this new bracket. How it's played out this year.
Yeah.
I've hated how it played out. I don't hate the idea. I hated how it's played out.
I don't like that.
Every team that was given an extra opportunity to get in, they all lost.
They all lost.
They got completely swept. Besides Arizona State, which could be arguably.
What conference is Boise State in again? I'm blanking.
Mountain West.
Mountain West. I don't think that conference should get a bye. The conference is trash.
I mean, when I looked at the schedule and I saw that, I was like, we're giving Boise a bye?
Because in the moment when they first announced it, the Pac-12 was still a thing. Mm-hmm. So you're thinking Big Ten, SEC, ACC, Pac-12 for winners, first round buys. That's perfectly fine. That is 100% perfectly fine. But take out the Pac-12, put the Mountain West in there. It's
because I'm always going to root for the underdog, but goodness.
Well, yeah,
I'm always like goodness.
100%.
Like some of the games were ridiculous. Like, dude, who did?
I just don't like this conference.
I think I was watching. Who did Indiana play first?
Notre Dame.
Watching that game gave me a headache. I've never seen so many missed tackles in my life.
College football player coming out in you, bro. That's just how it is.
I would have had a conniption. Like he would have been spazzing. He would have sat the entire starting squad.
Didn't reach nothing on the goal board.
Dude.
Nothing on.
Dude, I'm watching the game. I literally had to leave the living room. I'm like, Dad, I'm out. Like, I can't watch this anymore. I'm talking, one guy has him grabbed, next guy comes in, he gets stiff-armed while the other guy's still on him. Like, I get it, we're not trying to drag the hit, like we're not trying to hit drop tackle, but goodness.
Yeah.
Guys, it's getting bad. I almost had I almost spazzed.
You almost spazzed.
Like, it was so hard to watch. Like,
sorry, everybody, raise your hands if you've almost spazzed in the last 2 weeks.
I almost spazzed in the last hour.
Oh, Joe even spazzed. Sorry, Andrew Tate.
But I mean, even it just sucked watching that game because I was actually rooting for Indiana.
So was I.
I was like, I want Indiana. I want to see Indiana make some noise.
Yeah.
Arizona State made noise. Well, they actually had a good because I was watching. I was watching Cam's highlights the other day, and I'm looking at their O-line, and I'm like, this O-line's legit.
Yeah.
Like Arizona State's O-line was legit. Mm-hmm. Even in the game against Texas, there was a play where the O-line pushed him in. Yeah. Like, he was moving his feet, but the guard did most of the work.
Yeah, for sure.
He was pushing like 3 Texas boys in. And I mean, I would have enjoyed Arizona State playing another round. I'm just going to say that.
I really would have just being able to watch Scadaboo.
Yeah.
Do his thing.
He's built for like.
He definitely raised his draft stock.
Oh,
that game,
yeah, for sure,
100%.
for sure. But all right,
You
so
go Texas game.
So before we move on, because we legitimately have like 20 minutes before I got to leave.
Yeah.
Ohio State 28, Texas 14. Will Howard was 24 for 33, 289 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Travion Henderson 6 carries for 42 yards. For Texas, Quinn Ewers 23 for 39, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Yeah, Ohio State's probably going to win the national championship.
But Quinshon Judkins,
Oh yeah.
9 carries, 36 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's huge.
But yeah, so we'll preview. Me and Alex will preview the national championship this Friday, possibly with Adrian on the show. We don't know yet. Obviously, you guys.
Adrian?
Yeah, he's a Notre Dame fan.
He's a Noti, yeah.
He's back?
No, well on Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
So yeah, you guys are more than welcome to join. We'll shoot it. Well, as the day this drops, we'll do that. But yeah. So before we move on, every 5-10 minutes, record check. Joe, we still recording on the computer? All right, sweet.
Quick predictions for the national championship game.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Here, Joe, go ahead. Dom will give his first
No,
prediction.
I was telling you guys for it. I was telling you guys to do it first.
Okay.
I've been saying this, and I wouldn't be shocked if Ohio State blows them out. Okay?
Okay.
But at the same time, I would also not be shocked if Notre Dame makes this a close game and wins by a field goal.
I could see that too.
By a field goal, though. But there is no in-betweens.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. I don't think there's any in-betweens because this game isn't a matter of these teams stopping each other. Ohio has the most explosive offense in college football.
I think since like the first round, Ohio State they've been playing out of their minds like they have nothing to lose. Which Ryan Day does. Well, he didn't. I think. Well,
No,
I think now he saved his job.
I think
well
he said. I think. he
Yeah,
saved it
100%. But I think I wouldn't count out Notre Dame.
No.
But Ohio State, it's just been different this playoff. So
Because
I'm gonna go with Ohio State.
You can't factor out how close that Notre Dame team is. You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell that they're a well put together team.
Yeah.
They're willing to fight for their coach. That's another thing. Because you can see that. And I'm not factoring out the team aspect that they have going on. Because they've been rolling too.
Oh yeah, for real.
They've been rolling. But
For sure.
as of now, I'm on Ohio State's.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be upset if
Yeah, no.
Notre Dame pulls it out.
I'm as a football fan, obviously I'm rooting for a good game. Because last year, I mean, if I wasn't a Michigan fan last year, if I wasn't a Michigan fan, I wouldn't have enjoyed that game very much last year.
Fair.
Because it was kind of, you could tell, you could just tell that Michigan was just a way better team.
Yeah.
And we just kind of dominated that game. So this year, as a football fan, I'm really rooting for a close game. However, Ohio State's offense has proven to be the best offense in this college football playoff.
Yep.
They've proven to be the best team in the college football playoff.
100%.
Yep.
I think Quinshon Judkins goes for 3 tuds.
Wow.
I think he goes for 3 tuds.
Damn.
I think Quinshon Judkins will go for 3 tuds, and Mecca Buka will go 7 for 85 and a tud.
Okay.
And
okay.
I think Ohio State wins 38-21.
I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that. No,
38,
no.
38,
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. But
I think the alternate to that, 31-28.
31-28. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I like that too.
yeah.
Or
And that's maybe if it's reversed. Like maybe if Notre Dame wins, but I could also see it being the same way for Ohio State to win.
And I'm gonna do an alternative to that too. I'm gonna take Notre Dame 13-10.
Wow.
If you know, you know.
Wow.
I respect that.
Okay.
I respect that.
That is
We got 2 defenses that are elite at this point.
Yeah.
One to me is a bit more elite because
Yeah.
Ohio State's is
They're just-
out of this world.
Yeah, 100%.
But you got 2 defenses rolling. Notre Dame's offense isn't exactly something that I'm gonna
They're good enough though.
Right.
But yeah.
So I can back that 13-10. I could see that happening.
I really only say 13-10 because that's how we beat them this year.
Yeah. But
It's a respect. That's a respectable
sure.
one though.
It's just gonna be a matter of Ohio State establishing the run game early on, so that it opens up that play action in the playbook, so they can air it out to their receivers.
Yeah. But we have,
Just looking at the score.
we have
the score of the game.
we have about 14 minutes to talk about this. Can I?
Yeah.
Can I? Okay.
Do your thing.
I don't know why I just put my phone on the ground. I'm an idiot.
He's upset.
Anyway,
I can tell he's upset.
new iPhone 6, I think 16 or something. By
I
the
wish
way.
Alex was here. I need a sip of water. Oh, stud. Stud.
Listen, Steeler fans. Don't get me wrong. I think it's time to move on from Mike Tomlin. But please, for the love of God, understand that it's never gonna happen. He is so protected. It's crazy.
He's tenured, bro.
From what I know, he has a no trade clause in his contract. The trade is possible, but he has to sign off on it. And if he's not going to step down, he's not going to sign off on a trade. So stop imagining it. Let it go. He's not going anywhere. And it's final. That's it. There's nothing else to add on to it. That's the Rooney way. There's a reason why we have had 3 head coaches since 1969. Nice. Bill Cowher was the same way. Struggled towards the end. Then he built a Super Bowl team. That is what Rooney thinks is going to happen here. That's why he's been so patient with Mike Tomlin. That's why he's doing it. Now, to this game. This game. I forgot to put the phone in the pocket. 28-14 Ravens. Are we surprised?
No.
Are we? No, we're not. Russell Wilson, 20 for 29, 270, 2 touchdowns, sacked 4 times. Looking at the stats, if you don't watch the game, you think, oh, Russ, not bad.
Yeah.
Watching the game, there was zero frickin' fight with this organization.
There were a lot of moments where I think that he had 4 sacks.
He got sacked 4 times.
I think at least 3 of them could have been avoided.
Oh yeah, no. You watched the game. They were covered sacks.
I think the one was okay because he kind of hung back a lot longer because it was 3rd and long. He needed to play. But at that point, once you get pressured, you just have to tuck the ball and just take it.
He was really. You can tell he was really jittery. Like he was throwing a lot of check downs.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he wasn't playing like a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, no.
He looked nervous, and
Rattled.
Yeah.
Very rattled.
I think Justin Fields should have started the second half.
Yeah.
I agree.
So Joe, go to the why because I want to see both. Because they probably already know this, but I want to get the reactions. Would you guys like to know the rushing stats for this entire game?
Talk to me.
Not a quarter, not a half. The game.
I mean, Derrick Henry went for like 150 himself.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I'll read the Ravens rushing stats first.
Actually, I think they ran for 220.
50 as a team. 50 carries, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Derrick Henry had 186 of those. Lamar Jackson had 81 of those. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 11 carries for 29 yards, and the longest they did was 5. Russell Wilson, 3 for 6. Jalen Warren, 2 for 6. Najee Harris, 6 for 17. Where was the change with the rushing? We said it so many times on this show. If you're actually going to do change, Jalen Warren should be RB1.
I agree.
And yet, last week, who started the game? Najee Harris. When Najee Harris goes down, who got the carries? Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson didn't even see the field in this game, by the way. But
they have to eliminate that toss.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It's the dumbest play in football.
I just feel like the Steelers don't exactly play to their strengths in the run game.
Yeah.
Like
no,
the Steelers aren't a tackle specified team, right? They're not an outside running team.
No.
You're giving a toss to Najee Harris. Mm-hmm. We're not talking David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. We're not. This is Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Give him an inside zone up the middle. Let him get 7.
Yeah, he's 230. He's like 230 pounds. He's not.
He's not running no
fast.
4.3. Like he's. We know what Najee Harris is. He's a watered down version of Derrick Henry, right? Give him the ball. Let him run up the middle.
Yeah.
So
it's just that he's not a speed back.
No.
He's not
Tosses are a two a game thing. You get 2 a game, and that's when you have the element of surprise.
And there's maybe 5 or 6. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 running backs in the NFL that can run a toss effectively.
I agree.
They both play for 2 of them play for the Lions.
Exactly.
Yep.
I would say Travis Etienne.
Yep.
I don't even know. Maybe Rashad White. Rashad White. Rico Dowdle, actually, he's not a bad back. He's played.
I'm biased, but I think Jonathan Taylor can pull it off too.
I think he could too. Rico Dowdle, believe it or not, he's not a bad running back. He plays for the Cowboys.
Here we go again. This team ain't gonna never win.
He just plays for the Cowboys. Rico Dowdle.
That's the best diss track of the year.
Rico Dowdle made against the Steelers. Made the Cowboys look like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like Rico Dowdle was unstoppable against the Steelers.
Yep.
But anyways, let's move on.
So there's 2 more things that I want to add on before we get out of here, and I have to get out of here because I still have to save the show on the thing we record now.
42.
So the best way I can explain how the defense played all game. So the way I'm going to explain it is that the Ravens heard that the Steelers had a lot of lunch money, and the Ravens were like, yo, I need some money for lunch. So what they did was punch the Steelers in the mouth, take their money, and run away. And there was like 6 and they gave it to Derrick Henry, the money to Derrick Henry, and there was like 6 people running at Derrick Henry, and he scored a touchdown, and they just kept punching him in the mouth, and punching him in the mouth, punching him in the mouth. And then the final score was 28-14, and Elo's back.
I'm trying to think of what that one movie was. I think it's called Life. I think about the cornbreads.
So
Life is the cornbread.
So
you want your cornbread?
God, but so 2 questions I'm gonna ask, and there's only 3. I can understand. I'm gonna give you a second.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They went outside and they boxed, and that was what it looked like watching that game.
He's at your cornbread.
God damn it. Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So.
Lock in. Life. Watch it.
We'll watch it. So, there's only 3 people in this room that are going to understand this question. Elo, stand up. You don't come in here, because just please don't. So, the 3 of you have played a snap of football in your life, obviously.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
If...
Okay, yep.
D10, baby.
On gang. Whip you.
Always been better.
Anyway, if you at the beginning, not just in the beginning of the game, but in the first half, you get punched in the mouth repeatedly, it is extremely hard to come back from it, that game, in certain ways. If you keep getting punched in the mouth.
Right. Because, one punch in the mouth. I was going to say, one punch in the mouth is like, oh, snap, we're here to play.
Yeah, like...
Multiple?
Multiple.
I'm talking multiple. You never got to...
The first thing that comes to mind is Seton Hill.
Yeah, it keeps going.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Despite how old I look, I was not there.
Believe it or not, Shady's only 20.
Don't let it ruminate. Keep talking.
Daniel's only 20.
Keep talking. Hey, keep talking because Elo's trying to talk.
The first thing I think about is when we played Seton Hill 3 years ago, and they came here 0-8.
Yeah.
Smacked us in the mouth. 15-play drive. First drive of the game. We lost 38-14. It's the first thing I think about.
I'm going to talk about it.
Please do, because I have
Millersville, 2024.
Oh yeah, now we can hear you. All right. But since we have 5 minutes, I'm gonna skip ahead to my last question.
Got to.
What now? Tomlin's obviously gonna stay. We have a lot of free agents. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't see a world where we can bring Russell Wilson back.
No.
No.
I think they need to build on Justin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, here's the thing.
Justin and Jalen.
Well, that's your only option. Because free agency, Sam Darnold's probably the best one, and he's gonna obviously probably stay in Minneapolis.
Right.
That's gonna be another thing that we can talk about next week too. Because that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see what Minnesota does. Especially since Sam Darnold wasn't even supposed to play football this year.
Yeah. I mean, you can trade for somebody. JJ McCarthy.
Oh, gang. I'd be cool with that.
I guess.
But literally, you have to basically roll.
I would cry if we signed JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. But like,
because I want JJ McCarthy to win the Super Bowl, and the way we're going right now, we're not going to win a Super Bowl.
No, we're not. 10-7 first round. We literally said that at the beginning of the season that this is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All the Steelers fans in my house, I tell them, man. I'm like,
yeah, literally.
Yeah, you have a great record.
That's what I said about the
First round exit.
Puts the head on his shoulder.
First round exit.
But
you made it though.
But here's the thing though. That's the same thing with Pitt too. People were talking 7-0, and with how much I've seen this, I'm like, oh, just wait.
I do remember that speculation.
I looked at that SMU game on the schedule, and I was like, just wait.
What'd you guys finish this year? Like
I don't want to talk about it.
8-5.
They won one more and said we're done.
Fire Narduzzi. But yeah, Tom.
They just got themselves into a bowl game. They were trying to get to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, we're talking about Mike T, but he just said something very important. We need to shift our anger towards Narduzzi.
Narduzzi, yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Give the job to Cade. You know what? Have Cade Bell become the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Because it's getting ugly.
Yeah.
I think we shifted from Tomlin to Narduzzi to the Pittsburgh Penguins, which we're not going to talk about today.
Because we have no time, because we got to go now.
But they beat the Oilers this week,
Yes.
but lost the other 3 games that they played since we recorded the last show.
Sadness.
Yeah.
But they beat McDavid.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say the other guy's name because he doesn't
Leon
matter.
Draisaitl. Anyway. Shady was probably going to be a regular in the studio for the semester.
Put Draisaitl in Seattle, he doesn't do anything.
Because Alex is not here because he's doing an internship.
I love Alex.
We will see Alex this Friday for the Zoom show talking about the national championship. The duties for the paper toss is now Dom's and the catchphrase.
I got to come up with
everything.
my own catchphrase.
Oh, that's true. Well, you can use the one now until you come up with one.
I mean, you could just improvise right
Deuces.
Deuces.